A few months ago, I was reading about one of the big investments happening in AI infrastructure. Billions of dollars going into data centers, new factories being built for chips, energy companies suddenly talking about powering AI. And it made me pause for a moment. Because when people talk about AI, they usually talk about technology, they talk about models, they talk about chatbots, they talk about automation. But when you start looking at the numbers, you see something else. You see money moving, massive amounts of money. And when capital moves at that scale, something deeper is happening. That's when I start realizing that the AI revolution is not only a technological revolution, it's also a capital cycle. I'm Elon Ramin, and here we explore the AI economy, not through hype, not through fear, but through structure. And today I wanted to explore something fascinating with you: how investment shapes the AI economy. Because if we want to understand where AI is going, sometimes the best thing to do is simply follow the money. Now, let's imagine something simple. Imagine a new technology appears. At the beginning, nobody knows exactly how big it will become. Some investors take risk. They invest early. A few companies, start building infrastructure. Then the technology starts working. People see the potential. Suddenly, more money arrives. And then something interesting happens. Capital begins, moving in waves. In economics, innovation almost never happens smoothly. Instead, it happens through cycles of investment. Capital concentrates in one area, then another, then another. Each wave builds the foundation of the next. The AI economy is following this exact pattern. Instead of one single expansion, or I would say explosion, we are seeing several layers of investment cycles. And each cycle shapes the structure of the industry. Now, think about the early days of the internet, before websites became popular, before apps existed, before social media. There had to be infrastructure, servers, networks, fiber optic cables. Without that physical layer, nothing else could exist. Something very similar is happening with AI. The first wave of capital in the AI economy is infrastructure: compute, chips, data centers, energy that supports the whole thing. These systems are extremely expensive, but they are also necessary. Without them, AI systems cannot scale. This is why companies that produce, advanced chips and operate large computing infrastructure hold enormous strategic power. They are not just building products, they are building the foundation of the AI economy. Now, once infrastructure exists, something else happens. Developers begin building on top of it. Platforms appear, tools appear, applications begins to form. This is exactly what happened, during the internet era. Once servers and networks existed, companies started building search engines, marketplaces, and social networks or social media as we know it today. In the AI economy, the second wave of capital goes into intelligence platforms. These are companies that build large AI systems, models, APIs, AI development platforms. They create the intelligence layer that other companies can build on. You see, these platforms act as multipliers. When they become powerful enough, thousands of companies begin building applications on top of them, and that attracts even more capital. Now, after platforms appear, the next wave always follows. Applications. People start solving real world problems. Businesses begin using the technology. New startups emerge. New products appear. This is where we begin seeing AI tools in specific industries like healthcare, finance, marketing, customer service, logistics, education. The application layer becomes extremely dynamic. This stage often produces thousands of experiments. Now, most of them fail, but some become extremely valuable. This is where innovation spreads across the economy. You see, now one thing I've noticed while exploring the AI adoption is something interesting. Many companies already have access to AI tools, but they still struggle to use them effectively. Why? You're gonna ask me? Because integrating AI into real systems is difficult. Businesses operate with complex processes, software systems, regulations, human workflows. Integrating AI into those environments take expertise, which creates a new market. This is where consulting firms, integration specialists, and vertical AI companies become important. They help organizations transform their operations, and this attracts another wave of investment. Now, another thing that becomes obvious once you look closely at the AI economy is the demand for talent. Companies everywhere are searching for people who understand AI. But not just technically. They need people who understand AI when it comes to business strategy and industry context. This creates a talent market. Highly skilled individuals become extremely valuable, not because they know one tool, but because they can connect multiple systems together. You see, human talent becomes one of the final bottlenecks in the capital cycle. And where bottlenecks appear, value concentrates. Now, when we step back, the pattern becomes clear. Capital moves through stages: infrastructure, platform, then applications, integrations, talent. Each stage builds on the previous one, and each stage creates new opportunities. Now, understanding these cycles allow us to see something important. The AI economy is not random. It evolves through investment waves. Now, if you understand where capital is flowing, you can better understand where opportunities appear. You don't need to predict everything. You simply observe: where are investors focusing? Where are bottlenecks appear? Where are companies struggling? Where demand grows faster than supply? That's where the next opportunities usually emerge. Now, the more I explore the AI economy, the more I realize something simple. Technology alone does not shape the future. Capital itself does. Investment determines what gets built, what scales, what becomes dominant. So if we want to understand the AI economy, we need to look at where money is moving, because capital flows reveals the structure of the future. And learning to see those flows may be one of the most valuable skills of this era. Now, thanks for exploring the AI economy with me tonight. If you find it interesting, please like, subscribe, and if you have any questions, comments, please leave them in the comment section. I read everything. And on this one, well, thanks for watching again, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.